We're focusing on workforce today, and the aim being to bring together insights and best thinking so that we can share and try and think of how we resolve some of those urgent issues that are affecting the way in which we run our organisations. So we've got an impressive group of speakers. You'll find their biographies on the webpage, and they're going to be allowed only 7 minutes to present. And then at the end of that, there may be time for 1 or 2 questions, but hopefully at the end, we'll have a good 20 minutes to respond to some of the questions that I hope you'll post as we go through the session. So, if I may, I just wanted to say a few words to set the scene and the context for what we're talking about today. And it's something you all know, but in the settings we're working in healthcare, our most precious resource and our most costly resource is our workforce. And indeed, it's probably about 70% of our regular costs. They are precious, and it seems to me that part of our challenge is how we treat them like a crate of eggs and look after them to the best of our ability. It's fair to say that there are lots of initiatives and ideas about what we should be doing. Our NHS long-term plan in terms of workforce does outline a range of things to do in relation to training and retraining more staff with a view to reforming the way that we all work to meet the ever-growing demand for healthcare services. But that said, widespread problems really do remain. And I think the question for us is, do we really understand what our workforce is thinking? What are they doing? What are their needs? And at the moment, I think when we look at our data, it's driven by activity. It's pretty basic, and it informs us, but it probably really reduces things to operational targets and regulatory needs. So I hope this afternoon some of the wonderful ideas and things that you are doing can be shared, and we'll learn from each other. We've got some really good speakers, and they'll talk a little bit about some of the things that they're doing. But what is clear, and I'm sorry to use this old cliche, but there are no silver bullets here. This is a complex issue, and we need to do everything we can to better understand that complexity, and that may help us come forward with new solutions, new ideas. I think perhaps like us, historically, you've really looked at your workforce in terms of roles, responsibilities, levels, and hierarchies within the organisation. And that's really how we've planned for the future on that basis. But I'm not sure that we've really focused on those thousands and thousands of people who work with us. And each and every one of them will be dealing with a range of complex issues to do with their life outside work. And those issues may relate to finance, may be caring responsibilities, who knows? But often they're the drivers that impact on people's lives. And there's only a limited amount that we can do to mitigate some of those difficulties that are affecting individuals. What we've been trying to do at Alder Hey is to recognise that everyone is a whole person, and to develop different solutions so that our staff can bring their best selves to work, to do that rewarding work that they want to do. And we're hoping we can share some of those success stories, including a little bit about our staff advice and liaison service, which goes hand in hand with our Freedom to Speak Up Guardian and ambassadors, as well as our Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. And we're now also connecting with our citizens' advice. So treating each person as a complex individual who really does want to do a good job, I think it leads us to say, so what makes people tick? How can they bring their best self to work? And we've been thinking about how we build capacity and capability to help them stay with us longer, and how we develop and grow a sense of community. So underlying this approach is also using data in different ways to help us break the cycles of the past and make more informed decisions and transform our approach to people planning, but also caring for our workforce. So during this session, I think there are three things we hope we can debate and discuss. The size of the challenges, what leads to us having high sickness, low retention and high turnover. How is to look at the workforce differently in the future is our second challenge, I think, to meet different needs. What's the skill mix we want, the motivation and engagement, how we look at processes and improve those, but also are clear about our goals and general direction. And finally, I hope we can share and better understand what our workforce needs by sharing some of the solutions that are emerging as we move forward. So I'll stop there, and it's with great pleasure that I'm introducing our first speaker, Naeem Younis, who's the founder and CEO of Strasis. So I'm going to hand over to you, Naeem, now. Thank you.